All right, Tay, what's up, guys? Let's see, are we live here? See if I can go to the. Yep, looks good. So here we are. That's how I typically play that first hole. As I mentioned, with a javelin, I could get just a little bit more exacting, and that's one of the things that I like. Oftentimes, when you see I have all this fairway to work with, I will just try to force the ball up here just a little bit farther. It is going to make that approach easier the farther that you get this up here. Now, this is a pretty good pin and win situation to go for this back door. So I'm not sure how much it really backs up because this is a very rare pin. I haven't really played this one much more than once or twice. So there is some downhill elevation, but using my sheet, I do believe the 6-iron is maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of typically maybe 144 would be my estimate, 143. This wind is going to be very strong. That 143 is going to get collapsed way down. It's not even going to be a possibility. So I'm going to have to go up to the 5-iron. Similarly with the 5-iron, I have the 5-iron landing somewhere around 150 for typical situations. Again, this wind is really going to collapse that down. We do have some downhill. I might not even be able to suck this back. I got to be honest with you. It's that close. Because here's what I'm worried. I'm worried that 8 wind is going to kind of prevail and into the wind. 150, it might collapse to 138, to be honest with you, at least. It might even be a little bit less than that. Now, there is some downhill that makes that a little bit tougher to tell. So, this isn't a really good optimal situation for a javelin. But I really kind of need to land this essentially kind of pin high. So one of the things I could do is, it's something in between a javelin a javelin isn't a really good ball, so a grabber or a sniper are kind of the only two real situations here. But I'm a little worried that, who knows, like the ball might not quite carry to the 138. I really can't tell because there's so much elevation here and I haven't played this enough, but just from experience, I know that the yardage is going to be somewhat close to this exact number. So in this case, I'm just going to go full. And with a grabber, in the hopes that it basically lands about the hole and kind of stops around the hole too. It should suck back just a touch because of the headwind. Now, if we didn't have a headwind, it might not. So let's go ahead, try to push up here. And again, as I mentioned, it is a little deep, and it's actually deeper than I thought. I would have never thought into the wind with that high of a trajectory it was going to get this far behind. Had I known that, we would have went with the double backspin ball. I could have even taken off a percentage. But I honestly didn't want to risk it. Now, I know with the downhill, typically the ball's going to stay in the air longer. But here's what I was thinking about that. And again, it's just going to take, some more practice. The longer that the ball's in the air is a bad thing in a headwind, because what that means is it's getting to a point where the wind's greatly more affecting it than a one-to-one fashion. So it's really going to start magnifying a little bit and want to, not make it up there. So I wanted to make sure that it was pinned high, and sure enough, it was actually 6 yards behind. I would have never guessed 6 yards ever. I'd have never guessed that. But, a learning experience, something to, take with me to future experiences. So let's jump in here to the third hole. I will catch you guys on that one momentarily.